Hello students, welcome to my channel, and if you find this video useful for you, then please like, comment and subscribe my channel. So today's topic is neutralization reaction. So what is neutralization reaction? The reaction between an acid and a base or an alkali to form salt and water is called neutralization reaction. Here alkali means, alkalis are the bases that are soluble in water. Okay, so the reaction between an acid and a base or an alkali to form salt and water is called neutralization reaction. So when an acidic and solution and a basic solution are mixed with each other, what happens? They neutralize effect of each other. Neutralize means they cancel out effect of each other. Then that solution will not be the acidic or not be the basic. Okay, so they cancel out effect of each other. That is called the neutralization reaction. The neutralization reaction is an exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction means heat is evolved in this reaction. Heat is evolved during this reaction. This is exothermic reaction. There are two types of reactions, exothermic and endothermic. Okay, so exo means to give out. So exothermic reaction, in exothermic reaction heat is evolved during this reaction. Okay, so therefore we can say that neutralization is the combination between an acid and a base to form what? Salt and water, and with the evolution of heat. So we can say that acid plus base is equal to salt plus water, H2O plus heat. Acid plus base, it gives salt and water with the evolution of heat. Okay, and how can we know that heat is there or heat is evolved during this reaction? So when we suppose we take a what we can say that test tube. Okay, when you take a test tube and you neutralize the acid and base in it, that time you will see or you will observe that the test tubes from outside it becomes warm or it becomes hot. That means suppose you add sulfuric acid to lime water, then this reaction mixture becomes hot, and this is a neutralization reaction, and it, because of the heat evolved, the test tube becomes hot. Okay, so and what happens? The test tube in which the reaction is carried out, it becomes hot, and thus the temperature at the end of the reaction is more than the temperature of the initial stage. Okay, the temperature at the end of the reaction is more than the temperature of the initial means at the starting of the reaction. Okay, so here are some examples how can we get the salts from different bases. Okay, so sodium hydroxide, that is NaOH, when it is added to HCl, that is hydrochloric acid, we get NaCl, that is sodium chloride, water and heat. Okay, then second example is 2NaOH plus H2SO4. Now here NaOH means sodium hydroxide, H2SO4 means sulfuric acid. When they are added, we get sodium carbonate. Okay, we get sodium sulfate and water and heat. This is sodium sulfate. Okay, then these are the salts. This is salt, this is also salt. Then we have calcium hydroxide, when it is added to H2SO4, again that is sulfuric acid, then it gives calcium sulfate. Okay, calcium sulfate, that is CaSO4, and it gives water and heat is evolved. So you can notice that in all the three reactions heat is evolved because it is an exothermic reaction. Okay, so these are the examples. Then there is one small experiment to show the change in color at the end of the reaction. So we have already read about the phenolphthalein indicator. in previous video that a phenolphthalein indicator is used to check the neutralization reaction. How it is used to check neutralization reaction, that we are going to see now. Okay, suppose in neutralization reaction, phenolphthalein is used to indicate the end of the reaction, and the end point is observed when the indicator changes its color. Okay, so what we have to do, this small experiment is there. So you have to take one test tube and fill it with a dilute acid. Fill it 1/4 with dilute acid. Okay, this is dilute acid. Dilute means that is not very much concentrated. Okay, then you can take hydrochloric acid. Okay, but it should be dilute hydrochloric acid. Then you have to add few drops of phenolphthalein. What you have to add? Phenolphthalein indicator, few drops of phenolphthalein indicators. Okay, and then you shake it gently. Then phenolphthalein remains colorless in acid. We know that it is a basic indicator, so when it is added to the acid, it remains colorless. You will not get any color. Now what we have to do, sodium hydroxide, that is a base. Okay, so this sodium hydroxide we have to add drop by drop while stirring gently. We have to add by the with the help of the dropper. We have to add this base to this test tube in which there is acid and phenolphthalein indicator is added. Okay, so this sodium hydroxide is added drop by drop, and the pink color here, pink, as this drop touches this acid, then this color of this drop becomes what? Red, or we can say, sorry, pink. It is of pink color. The pink color appears each time after a drop of sodium hydroxide touches the acid and the indicator mixture. Okay, and we have to continue this process till the whole solution becomes pink. Okay, and the color change must occur by adding 1 drop of base. This is the end of the neutralization reaction. When this solution becomes pink, then that is the end of the reaction or neutralization reaction. And the salt that is formed here in the reaction, neutralization reaction, it may be acidic, basic, or neutral. A neutral salt is formed by the neutralization of strong acid and strong base, and sodium chloride, that is a neutral salt. Sodium chloride, that common salt we eat, sodium chloride. So is a neutral salt formed by the reaction between sodium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid. It is simply where I should write here. Okay, see, HCl plus NaOH, it gives NaCl plus H2. Okay, so this is a neutralization reaction. So this was a simple one experiment, that how this indicator is used to check the end of the neutralization reaction. Okay, so here we will stop. We will meet in the next video. Till then, take care. Goodbye.